You start the research by preparing a research proposal. The proposal is the blueprint of your future work, and without early investigation and planning, the chances are that the fieldwork will be considered and inappropriate. So, work on the proposal work diligently. Where do you begin? Let us start by understanding what is a research proposal and the need for this document. Research proposal is a plan, a stock of ideas, offers proposed for implementing your research work. Put in simple words, the proposal is a description of what you hope to achieve and how you intend to go about it. The goal of a research proposal is to present and justify a research idea you have and to prevent the practical ways in which you think this research should be conducted. This exercise, in fact, is planning your research work. The research proposal must address the following questions: what you plan to accomplish, why you want to do it. So, do it in your uh, field of interest. Then, how does the proposal research relate to the need a present interests? What difference will your study make to the discipline, the subjects, the nation, the world, or whatever the appropriate categories are? What has already been done in the area of your research study? How do you plan to do it? That is, how you are going to do it. How much will it cost and how much time it will take? How will the results be evaluated? These are some questions. Then, in fact, the research proposal serves a number of purposes. Among them, it serves as a planning tool for the researcher. It convinces others that your research is worth undertaking. It enables you to demonstrate expertise and competency in your particular area of study. It may serve a contract between the researcher and the funders, if applying the fund, for any funding to undertake the research. Thus, you would notice that the research proposal is intended to convince others that you have a worthwhile research project and that you have the competence and the work plan to complete it. You will benefit by consulting two persons at an early stage in the planning of the proposal: the program in charge, who will endorse your plan for staff and facility commitment, that is, allot a research guide or the counselor to you for carrying out the research, provide for any facility so required, and the research guide who shall guide you in preparing your proposal, then approve your proposal and eventually supervise your work and activities linked with your research practice. So then how do we get about to plan and prepare a research proposal? Let us find. First, developing a research proposal basic considerations. The proposal should be 5 to 6 spaced, double spaced pages in length. You should write down some important lines. Proposal should be 5-6 double spaced pages in length and should set forth a description to your plan. Here is a simple guide on how to prepare a proposal. We begin with a review of the typical parts of a research proposal. These parts are highlighted in the box. Box 1, typical parts of research proposal. Title, Then introduction including statement of problem, purpose of research, and significance of research. Then background, including literature story or literature survey. Then methodology of your research. Then description of proposal research. You should write on the methodology, different methods. Then list of references, from where you are going to take the references of your research articles. Let us review these parts and focus on proposal writing next. We begin by first highlighting the points you need to consider while writing the title of your study in the proposal. The title of your study should be comprehensive enough to indicate the nature of your proposed work, but it should also be concise and brief. Think of an informative but catchy title. The title should be catchy. Note, avoid words in the title that add nothing to the reader's understanding, such as studies on, investigations on, or research on some problems in dash dash dash, etc. So avoid these type of titles in your research proposal. The title should be catchy and concise and brief. Um, introduction. The introduction of your proposal should begin with a capsule statement of what is being proposed, and then should proceed to introduce the subject or the area or the topic under the study. Thus, the introduction should be comprehensive and give enough background to enable any reader or the expert to place your particular research problem in a context of common knowledge, and should show how its solution will advance the field or be important for some other work. Be careful not to overstate, but do not neglect to state very specifically what the importance of your research is. The introduction in your proposal should cover these elements. Uh, your proposal state the research problem, which is often referred to as the purpose of the study. Then provide the content and set the stage of your research question in such a way as to show its necessity and its importance. Then present the rationale of your proposed study and clearly indicate why it is worth doing in the context of the study done before. Will the study benefit, advance understanding, or influence the policy, etc., etc.? Then briefly describe the major issues and sub problems to the addressed by your research. Then identify the key independent and dependent variables of your research experiment. Alternatively, specify the phenomena you want to study. State your objectives, hypothesis, or theory of thesis, if any. Then set the delimitation or boundaries of your proposed research in order to provide a clear focus. So these are some elements you should follow to make your proposal. So these are some of the topics or some important questions for preparing the research proposal. Next, रिमेंबर ए गुड प्रपोजल बिगिंस विद ए क्लियर आइडिया। तो सबसे पहले आपको क्लियर आइडिया होना चाहिए कि आप रिसर्च किस टॉपिक पर कर रहे हैं, आपको प्रपोजल किस टॉपिक पर बनाना है। टॉपिक या टाइटल कैची हो, ब्रीफ हो, जो आपके पूरी स्टडी को दर्शाता हो, बताता हो। टाइटल ऐसा होना चाहिए जो सिर्फ टाइटल पढ़ के ही पता चल जाए कि आप किस फील्ड में स्टडी कर रहे हैं। तो रिमेंबर, अ गुड प्रपोजल begins with a clear idea of the goals, objectives, or the hypothesis of the project. Then objectives, hypotheses are what you intend to examine in the fieldwork. They are based upon the literature review. So you should review the literature, the uh, researchers, uh, research articles related to your field area of research. General objectives, or that what we may also refer to as the working hypothesis, is a broad statement of what you expect to find. Based upon a preliminary study of the literature in all its many forms, that is, academic journals, text, newspapers, and the magazines or the trade press, etc. This should come to the proposal stage but repeated in the finished dissertation. The specific objectives or the supporting hypotheses are more detailed statements based upon a thorough analysis and understanding of a wide range of literature sources. Usually, these statements are supported individually by reference to and a development of the relevant literature. Helpfully, this can be tabulated. They are the foundation upon which any field work is based, and the underpin the questions to explored in the primary research. Once the introduction is in place, the next step in writing your proposal is to prove that your particular piece of research has not been done yet. It should be new. Once the introduction is in place, the next step is writing your proposal is to prove that your particular piece of research has not been done yet. This section is usually called literature review. Let us get to know how to develop this section. Then, literature review. Background of literature review. Literature review is a critical summary of research on a topic of interest, generally prepared to put a research problem in context, to identify gaps and weaknesses in prior studies so as to justify a new investigation. Sometimes you will notice that the literature review is incorporated into the introduction action, but the literature review serves several important functions that are: research ensures that you are not reinventing the wheel. The background then gives credits to those who have laid the underwork for your proposal or your research. Demonstrate your knowledge of the research problem. Demonstrate your understanding of the theoretical and research issues related to your research questions. demonstrated your knowledge and your understanding, then shows your ability to critically evaluate the literature information, indicates your ability to integrate and synthesize the existing literature, provides new theoretical insights, or develops a new model as the conceptual framework for your research. Note: while presenting a literature review, avoid being repetitive and verbose. Cite influential papers and recent developments. Present a critical evaluation of the cited papers. They very often, students' literature reviews suffer from the following problems: citing irrelevant or trivial references, then developing on secondary sources, lacking of focus, unity, and coherence, lacking organization and structure. This should be avoided. There can be different ways to organize your literature review. Make use of subheadings to bring order or coherence in your review literature. Make use of subheadings. For example, having established the importance of your research and its current state of development, you may devote several subsections or related issues as required. There are many sources from where you can locate the literature. Uh, for example, the university or the program study center library, then other universities and college departmental libraries, dissertations submitted by other research scholars in the specific area, then general libraries, then services offered by National Institute of Science Communication and Information Resource, developing library network, and other such services which provide at a nominal cost copies of articles published in research journals. Personal collection of researchers in the field, for example, your dissertation guide and other fellow scholars, etc. So, having reviewed the literature related to the topic and documented it, we approach now one of the most difficult part of writing a research proposal, that is methodology. In the next live session, we shall learn the methodology or the description of proposed research. So, here is the end of this session. So, viewers, for your research work, you may consult me, or in the next session we will learn the methodology for our research work, the different topics in different fields. And thank you for watching and share. Please share it, like it, and share it with your needy friends who want to do research in any field or any topic. Thank you.